Are you ready? It's time for Disturbin the Burbs.
Everybody, here we are, another fantastic episode of
From the Bunker.
Yes, from the Bunker. Disturbin the Burbs, episode 18. Another fantastic, world-renowned episode of Disturbin the Burbs.
You know you love us.
Yes, you love us. Oh, man, what a week we've had. And it's only been a week. I cannot believe we are in the studio once again. Barely even a week has gone by since we recorded the last episode. This is a milestone. This is a first.
We rock.
We rock. We have lots of stuff to talk about during this episode today. Today is Memorial Day. I would have liked to have actually gotten this out today, but, you know, life gets in the way.
We enjoyed our weekend.
We enjoyed our weekend. It's Memorial Day Monday.
We planted shit.
We did plant shit and plants. Not only did we plant shit,
We planted plants in shit.
we did. It was steer manure, and it was the finest. It was huge. It was the best steer manure ever.
That. No, don't do that.
Oh, if there's anything that I should be doing a Trump impression of, it should be talking about steer manure, because that's what that man is all about.
It still makes me cringe.
And that doesn't mean I'm anti-Republican. So any Republicans that happen to be listening to this podcast, I am not anti-Republican. I'm not anti-Democrat.
Just don't be an idiot.
I just don't support idiots. And Trump is an idiot. And that's his... And I might actually edit that out, because I don't want to ostracize our listeners.
I think you should ostracize.
You think I should? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's all right. We can do that. And if that really just gets you in your craw, man, if that really pisses you off, you know what you can do? You can call the hotline. Yeah. Call our hotline at 206-800-6405. If us bashing Trump really pisses you off, then give us a call. Give us a piece of your mind. Let us know what you think.
And then I'll give you a piece of mine.
Yeah, and we'll play it on air. It'll be really cool. It'll be strictly for entertainment value.
Oh, totally. Mm-hmm. And you can be anonymous, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. We won't out you, and we love you, regardless of your affiliation with whatever. Anyway.
Don't be rude.
Man, here we are.
Another week.
Another week.
For us, this is week 11 of quarantine.
Is it already?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And what have we done to show for it?
Planted shit.
Yes, we've done some yard work. We
got a new lawn.
We've listened to music. We've watched lots of...
We have watched lots of movies.
Watched lots of movies. We actually really started a huge home improvement project.
Yep, I'm pretty excited.
That we're pretty excited about. We're starting phase 1 of the kitchen remodel. Model.
We did grown-up stuff, and we ordered appliances.
Yes, we have, gosh, what is it, 20-year appliances in our house? At least for the gas stovetop and the oven and whatnot. It's just ancient. You can't cook a whole turkey in it at Thanksgiving time, so because it's so small.
I mean, you can, but nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else. So
literally, the last time I bought cookie sheets for our oven, I got the ones that I thought would fit. They were too big. I had to take them back.
Big.
And then the ones that I got that were smaller, I had to take those back too.
Yep.
It's really, really
We have
sad.
the world's smallest oven, so we are actually upgrading on the oven and doing some really cool shit in our kitchen. We're super excited. Yes, we are.
Honey, I think this might be the most tipsy I've been before recording an episode in quite a while.
Yeah, we were having fun. We were having fun before recording this episode.
I'm only a tiny bit into the second drink, you know.
We were listening to Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande's new song, Rain on Me, over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will talk about that later.
Awesome.
But that got us through the first beverage, and then I had to go make another beverage. And so here we are launching episode 18. And for those of you that are new listeners, hey, welcome. We're glad that you've decided to give us a listen. Hey, check us out on our website at www.disturbintheburbs.com.
That's right.
You can listen to us on all the crazy places where you can find podcasts, such as like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, yada, 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 iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. We are world domination with this
Twitter,
podcast.
Instagram.
Yes, we're everywhere. We're like...
Did you hear that? I hiccuped.
Did you? Well,
Sorry.
I'm not going to edit that out either. In fact, I'm going to like turn it up very, very loud. But anyway, in case we didn't mention the hotline that we also have, this is the preamble before the real show, by the way.
One more time.
We love our hotline. We love the folks that have called in. And if you have an inkling, if you got an itch to tell us a secret or ask us a question, feel free to call our hotline. Again, like we've mentioned before, Jen and I do not answer the phone. We simply do not have that kind of time. So we let the bots do that. And yes, call 206-800-6405 if you've got a question, got a dirty little secret you want to share with us so we can play it on air.
We would love it.
Absolutely. So speaking of that, shall we go ahead and listen to a couple of calls?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Hi, Jim and Jen. This is Christine. I live in Walla Walla, Washington, and I'm currently at home with my husband, 2 teenage kids, 2 cats, and a dog. I'm a dental hygienist, and our last day of work was March 19, I think. The days are kind of starting to run together. We're expected to go back on May 18, but we'll see what happens. Other than the lack of income, the quarantine really hasn't affected me too much. I was a stay-at-home mom for 14 years. I'm a hardcore introvert, a bit of a hermit. So I've got lots of books, knitting, and a well-stocked bar, so I could probably do this indefinitely. The only thing I really miss is being able to go out for a meal or have a drink, and I miss being able to have people over to the house.
Hey, this is Jason. I'm calling in regards to how I'm being affected by the coronavirus quarantine. My general location is I live in Snoqualmie, Washington, and the quarantine has affected my everyday life because now I don't have to spend an hour commuting back and forth to work. I now work at home in my studio and live here now. So that's a lot of fun. I guess what I miss the most is just not being able to see my friends. A lot of the people I work with have become very close friends, and, that social element is not really able to be alleviated by doing video conferencing with people every day. So that kind of sucks. Also, much as I love my wife's cooking, it's nice to occasionally go to a restaurant. We've been able to support some of the local restaurants in the area, so, that's been nice. But, having the variety afforded by working down.
Hey, Jim and Jen. This is Kelly down in Austin, Texas. Since the quarantine, I've been at home a lot. It's about day 42 or 43 of working from home, which involves a lot of my cat jumping on my keyboard and folding laundry during conference calls. What do I miss the most? I'd have to say it would be going to the grocery store without a mask on, because I'm one of those people who really enjoys all of the smells at the grocery store and kind of meandering around. In general, I'd say the isolation has been an emotional roller coaster, but has allowed for a lot more time to be creative. And I guess in general, I'm kind of enjoying just being alone.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Christine
Yeah,
and
Christine.
Jason and Kelly.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys calling in. And
Yeah, thanks
sharing your
guys
experiences.
for calling in for sure.
Like Christine, first of all, I totally understand about having the well-stocked bar.
No
We
kidding,
are
right?
On top of that.
You guys should see our pantry right now. It is
Every time we go to Total Wine, not only do we
Yep.
stock our standard stuff,
our staples, right?
but we're getting like experimental. Ooh, let's try this tart
Yeah.
cherry liqueur. What can we make with that?
Right, and we're trying everything, and then we're also exploring different tequilas and scotches
More you than me.
and bourbons and that sort of thing. But yeah, whenever anybody comes over here, we will have pretty much everything that you would find at your local
You can make anything.
establishment where you would drink. So,
It's very sad.
but also Christine brought up the whole
Having people over.
Yes,
and missing
absolutely,
that.
and that is
Going
a
out to
theme.
restaurants.
That is a theme, right? We've over the last couple episodes, we've definitely played several different listener call-ins. And we played some from Jason and from Kelly, and with the exception of Kelly loves isolation and being by herself. But everybody kind of echoes that. That is really trying to, what do you call it, behave. During the pandemic
We're all
quarantine,
craving personal contact
Yeah,
at this
absolutely. And I think that's only human is folks. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, whatever your lot is in life, everybody craves that person-to-person connection.
Right.
Unless you're like Kelly, who prefers the isolation.
Your threshold may be higher or lower.
Yeah,
but
and
at
that's
some
all right.
point-
And that's perfectly fine. Sometimes I like being a little isolated. But there's one thing for certain. I certainly miss hanging out with my friends on a regular basis and
Right.
seeing the people that I care about. So,
I mean, the
those
going
are-
out to restaurants has been offset a little bit by takeout,
Mm-hmm.
because we've certainly gotten, nice takeout from all these sit-down
Right.
restaurants,
but
but it's not the same.
it's not the same. I could go get takeout from a nice restaurant. Let's just say Russell's, right? Which we did get takeout from. Now, that meal that we got from them was okay. It was nice, right? It was a good.
It was good.
It was good because it cost a lot of money, but it wouldn't. It's not the
Eating there
same.
would have been
Yes,
better.
as eating there, it would have been a lot different. Fresh, warm, hot.
Come on, it was good.
It was good.
Nice containers and all that.
Yeah, fancy. That's where all the money went, is in their fancy presentation. But I get it, right? And then Jason, hey, thanks, Jason, for calling in. Loved hearing from you. You have great radio voice. I could put you on the air and listen to you for hours.
I like how he found the positive right off the bat. At least you don't have an hour-long commute anymore.
Right. But again, he was the one that echoes what everybody else does is the fact that you're seeing friends, that video conferencing sucks. It's just not the same. And then even despite the fact that he likes his wife's cooking, he needs a little variety in his life. So
Everybody does.
yes, so that was great. And then finally Kelly, calling in from Austin. I get it. We're all trying to do the right thing. We go to grocery stores, we wear masks 85% of the time. But yeah, it is an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
This is an unprecedented time. We've never experienced anything like this before. It's probably the most political I've seen my extended friend group in the longest time. Everybody's kind of taking sides. I've really, tried to jump off of social networks the best that I could. Obviously, I have to kind of tie into them because of the podcast. We need to promote the podcast, and
Right.
I need to touch in with friends here and there. But I am so fucking sick and tired of, just the
and
onslaught
I don't necessarily want to go deep down into this topic.
like I am.
But what I'm going to say here
All right.
is that here we are. We're almost June, so we're basically, I can add 5 months out from election time,
Right.
and normally it would be all political controversy, all political jabs all the time about candidates and election issues, and it has been completely eclipsed by coronavirus posts. And so I wonder, how it's all gonna.
I'm wondering if Joe Biden is still alive or not.
Right,
So.
because we're hardly hearing anything about election, about campaign issues.
Yep.
And it is surreal.
Yep. I just kind of want to put 2020 to bed right now.
Oh shit! Like that T-shirt I posted on Facebook.
Right.
OMG, can this end already?
Right.
2020, and it's like red, white, and blue, like election year.
Yeah. This is interesting, and you know, I keep on waiting to hear. Imminently of, hey, things are opening back up. We're ready to go. Things are dying down, but that's exactly the opposite of what I hear. Even in Washington State, where Jen and I live, in the Seattle area,
it's the countdown to phase 2.
Yeah, it is the countdown to phase 2. But I keep on seeing, these spikes in coronavirus cases and coronavirus deaths.
June 1st was supposed to be the goal date for moving to phase 2, but King County, Snohomish County are supposedly not on track to meet that date.
Yep.
We're hoping for sometime in June.
Right. And I didn't really intend for this to, spiral out of control into more coronavirus talk.
What are we going to talk about?
No, I still do want to talk about this a little bit. It's
our life.
It is our life, and that's what's kind of, all encompassing right now, and it's hard to ignore. But
exactly. Here we are, tipsy in the bunker,
right?
And we're just.
Who's tipsy with us? Where's our people at? Give us a
shout out.
Yep. But that's what we do, man, to pass the time.
The horoscopes are going to be really fun at the end of the podcast.
They are going to be very, very fun.
My drink will be gone.
Yeah. But this is what we do during our corona vacation: is we work
and we drink
and we record podcasts. And we waste time. So,
at least I'm doing a self-education thing this week.
Are you? Hey, tell me what you're doing this week, Jen.
I have an online direct sales summit that I'm attending, like 20 different speakers throughout the week.
Right. And for those of you that don't know, Jen is in direct sales.
I am.
She has had a career in the insurance industry, and that sucked the life right out of her.
Yeah.
Let's be completely open and honest about that one. And then, she did photography for quite a few years and was very successful at that. And then she found a great little upstart company called Origami Owl. And I don't mind plugging that. Because it's a really kind of cool jewelry. It's lockets with charms and all that shit.
It brings me joy.
And that's ultimately, at the end of the day, folks, that's what we want, right? We want to be doing something that makes us happy.
Yep.
And I know insurance did not make you fucking happy.
Oh, Lord.
But selling jewelry does.
It does.
So
it's something fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's something that's causing you to focus and grow. And I think anything that you're working at in your career, in your life, that causes you to take pause and focus and grow and enrich your own life in a way that makes you feel like you're accomplishing something, I think that's something that you should strive for. So back to Jen and this online course that she's taken. Tell me what happened today.
Oh, I don't have to go deep into it or anything.
Oh, no, let's go deep into it. Let's talk every single detail.
Oh, gosh. Today was the first day. So Brenda was the keynote speaker, and she talked about the changes in, moving your business completely online, and facing the time.
Which I think is very topical for what's happening right now, because I think the pandemic and the quarantine and everything that's going on has caused a lot of people to refocus from large corporations to very, very small, much like what you do, Jen. It's causing people to pause and think about what's going on and how they can survive during and beyond, right? Because we really don't know what's happening in the future.
Right.
We have to kind of assess what's going on right now and make a choice one way or the other. Learn to grow. Think of inventive ways to move your business beyond what you know.
Right.
Wow. Am I getting deep? Am I having my moment of clarity? Clink, clink, clink.
It's just basically, in a nutshell, it's cool to have an opportunity to have some online education that's focused on what we're all facing now. So all of these speakers put together topics that they're experts on, but geared towards doing business in COVID-19 land, right? You know, having to completely move your business life online. So that's been kind of cool already.
That's awesome. Day one for you. And how many days is that going on?
It's all week, 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
All week long.
Jenny's being proactive.
Yeah. I'll be interested in hearing what comes out of that.
Thank you.
But that's not really a waste of time, right?
No,
absolutely not. And that's what I was talking about originally was like, what do you do to waste time? Well, I'm taking an online course.
Had we moved on to that? I'm so sorry.
Oh, man. But, you know, being that we are here at home and, you know, it's very limited. I mean, we live in a 10-mile radius right now. All our shopping is just very close to home. Right.
And it's just
again,
minimal.
I'm kind of one of those people that are slightly on the fringe. And I know Jen probably is too. Carter's probably the most militant out of the three of us in the house. He just does not want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Which suits his purposes because all he wants to do is game anyway in his game room. So coronavirus has been very beneficial for him. But, you know, for us, and I know we talked about this on the last episode and probably even the episode before that, but, you know, this is one thing that I currently struggle with. And I'm torn one way or the other. Is one, I want to see my friends. I want to hang out with them.
And we've managed a couple of social distancing gatherings.
But
it's no Taco Tuesday at Twisted Lime.
Right.
You know?
And I'm not the type of person that's going to go protesting at the state capitol.
Good Lord.
Well, hey, you know, I appreciate the people that feel that they need to do that. I'm not seeing the benefit quite yet of their actions, but I understand the mentality of the struggle that everyone is facing. We all know people that have been furloughed or they've been laid off and they no longer have a job and they're trying to figure out how to pay mortgages. And let me tell you, the government surplus check ain't going to cut it in order for these people to survive, because what we're seeing here is it's not going to end tomorrow. It's not going to end next week.
Yeah, it's bad.
We're looking at potentially months out there. And for those, I mean, I feel very lucky that I have a job and a salary and I'm still drawing on that and I'm still working. But there are a lot of people that have lost their jobs. I mean, unemployment claims have skyrocketed. They're through the roof, right? And it's pretty crazy. So I am completely empathetic.
It's depressing.
It is depressing. Of course it is. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it.
I know.
You know, I feel empathy for these people that are struggling right now and really want an answer, and there's no answer. And it's just this very obscure thing that you can't see or touch or smell that is controlling our lives. And so wow, I went off on a spiral, didn't I?
That's what happens when I drink and podcast, honey.
Right.
I get emotional.
Yeah, and that's all right. So back to how you waste time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do a lot of reading.
Yeah, you do, and that's actually cool. And that's, if there was any one thing that I could say, you know, that's beneficial to this time, is if you can pick up a good book, and read it, whatever the subject matter is, do that, because there's nothing that exercises the brain more than reading.
Yep.
Even if it's a little shady, trampy, romantic novel.
Back off, man. I don't only read that stuff, but it's fun to read.
Yep. No, I get it.
I baked with Carter this weekend. That was fun.
Yeah. And but what else are you doing to kind of just, like, you know, pass your time?
Well, not a lot, but we have done some gardening, you know, since we got a new lawn, and we're trying to keep up our little planting areas, and so that's fun. I want to do some drawing with the YouTube drawing lessons kind of thing. It's just hard to rally the troops to do that. I thought it would be fun to do as a family.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Exactly. I mean,
family, what are you talking about?
When we first went under quarantine, I went out and bought like sketch pads.
Yes,
for all
you
of
did.
us.
You were so hopeful.
We did it once.
Yes, I didn't even take part in that.
No, you didn't.
You know,
Fuck
been there,
you.
done that. Yes, I get it. Oh, my wife is such a trash mouth. But yes, you know, and I don't know that I consider it a waste of time because, you know, things that you and I love, we love watching movies, and that's one of
what
our
we end up
favorite
doing.
pastimes.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's necessarily a waste of time. Could I be doing something more educational or time worthy? Yes, I could be, but don't judge me. I love watching movies.
Karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke. We've got a great karaoke setup at home. So we've been, you know, spending some time doing that. But if I was to say, you know, the ways that I absolutely waste time that, you know, an hour goes by and I can't earn back that hour, it's probably the TikTok.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
You know, and it's funny because I don't watch TikTok any other time except right before bed. I've climbed into bed, I've propped myself up with pillows, and I'm settling in for a nice night of sleep. And what do I do right before I go to bed? I fire up TikTok.
It's so weird.
Because there's nothing like dance challenges.
I don't even have TikTok
and
on my phone.
makeup challenges
It's all him.
and pranks right before bedtime.
And seriously, I want him to bring headphones to bed.
TikTok. Yep. Everybody's doing TikTok.
Except me.
And that's a complete waste of time. So that's how I'm wasting time.
That's nice, honey.
Anyway, speaking of waste of time, we talked about movies a little bit. We did watch some really fun movies this week.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And the last episode, on episode 17, we talked about several different things. And we touched on some music. And there was some music that we'd listened to that kind of had an old-timey feel to it, right? And you brought up the fact that it was one of the songs we listened to was very similar of Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
So what did we do right after the episode that we recorded?
Crazy Rich Asians.
We watched Crazy Rich Asians.
I'm not Asian, but I love that movie.
Yep. Crazy Rich Asians is very, very fun. And for those of you that watch it, hey, we've got some Disturbin the Burbs fun facts about Crazy Rich Asians.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So one of the interesting facts, and doing a little bit of research here, was at one point Michelle Yeoh's character, and that was, I think she was the mother figure, right?
Yes. And this is actually the only fact that I know of the ones you selected here, that the emerald ring,
right,
in the movie that becomes,
and it was very, very impressive, right?
Oh, it's gigantic.
Yes.
You know, probably 12 carats. I mean, it's just huge. And so the mother figure, the matriarch, is wearing this ring, and it's an important part of the story. She tells about how she got it from her mother-in-law. Yep. And apparently that was her personal ring.
Right. That was Michelle Yeoh's,
the actress.
The actress's own personal collection, because they had brought out the actual ring that they were engagement ring that they were going to use for the movie, and she was like, "No, that won't do." And she dug through her own personal collection, brought out several examples, and they chose the emerald that actually showed up there.
Thank you, Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, so she obviously, you know, has a nice jewelry collection. And then another interesting thing is that Awkwafina, now she's a stand-up comedian, Asian stand-up comedian. She was in the movie, and she was supposed to wear multiple wigs in the movie, and this was the lead female character's best college friend. So when she goes over to Singapore, she goes and stays with their family, Awkwafina's family, and I don't remember her name in the movie, but she ends up putting on this blonde wig in that movie, and they stuck with it.
Cut.
And there was a joke in the movie, I don't know if it was in the movie or after it, but it was like, she's the Asian Ellen DeGeneres, and that joke kind of stuck, and so they stuck with the blonde wig.
I love Awkwafina.
The other little funny thing that I thought was a fun fact about Crazy Rich Asians was that the family dog in the movie was named Rockefeller, but in actuality it was named Donald Trump in the book. The movie's based on a series of books. Yeah,
so
there's
there
like
will
a
be
trilogy.
More movies.
Yeah, and they're actually already filming or had filmed.
So in the book, the dog is named Donald Trump.
Yeah, the dog's name.
I'm so glad they changed it.
Really? I wish they would have kept it named Donald Trump. There would have been so much more fun to be had.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Another show that we just had started, and it is on Hulu. And we're one of those families that pays through the butthole for all these streaming services. We've got Hulu. We have
FOMO.
Yeah, fear of missing out, right? Absolutely. We've got Netflix and all of the streaming services. So if you have Hulu, there is a great show called The Great, ironically enough. And
about Catherine the Great.
Yes, it's about Catherine the Great of Russia. It has very, very little to do with actual fact.
It's loosely based.
It's very loosely based,
Elf
but
right?
I absolutely love this up and coming actor. He's been in a lot, Nicholas Holt, and he plays Catherine the Great's husband, Peter.
Well, the emperor.
He is the emperor at the time, but again, if you actually do any research, it is not factually based on this union and his heritage.
This show is about Catherine the Great.
But the show is fantastic, and it's a lot of fun. It has Elle Fanning is the Catherine the Great, and that's Elle's been in
Super 8.
Super 8. She was in We Bought a Zoo.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously she's Dakota Fanning's sister, but quite frankly, right now, I think her career has eclipsed Dakota's.
Seems like it.
But she's...
Well, Nicholas Holt started out in About a Boy.
But
then he was in the Jack the Giant Slayer.
Yep. He was in that. He's been in
the zombie movie, that one zombie movie.
Yep. And I can't remember the name of that one, but he was also in the kind of the reboot of the X-Men where he played the Beast. Yeah. So he's a couple
of great young actors.
Yep. And I think he's can pretty much go anywhere. I really like him. So we've been watching The Great. So give that one a try if you're bored and have Hulu.
Sometimes those period pieces are a little much for me, the historical ones, but this has got a lot of humor to it, and I would give it a thumbs up myself.
Yep. And then this week, we during our last episode, we kind of wrapped up the whole Marvel series.
We talked about that last week, that we were going through all the Marvel movies.
Yep. And so we watched Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame.
Yet again, I cried in Endgame.
Yep, that's a tearjerker. I mean, I don't know why you feel so emotional, and I don't, and this is the general you. I'm not pointing fingers at you, Jen, but this is the all-encompassing you. Why you get so emotionally attached to a movie over a character, and when somebody dies,
20+ movies, hon.
Yes,
these characters are beloved.
I know. Yeah, they are beloved, but it was. It's definitely interesting how gripping Avengers Endgame is.
It's epic. It's like Harry Potter epic.
It is very epic.
And, with that, if you haven't watched it, what the hell?
Yeah. What are you waiting for, man? You have tons of time to waste right now. These movies are available, whether they're on demand or some other source or whatnot.
Endgame is the end game.
That's brilliant.
What am I trying to say? It's the culmination.
The culmination, the epitome of
the story, and it's unbelievable the way they wrap it up and they end the story. Shut up.
Our listeners don't use those big words. So,
well, that's the word I was looking for. Okay. Culmination.
The culmination. Hey, some fun facts about Avengers Endgame.
Go ahead.
Yes. This is the first movie ever to make over $1 billion within its opening weekend.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's the end game.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, $1 billion its opening weekend.
It is crazy.
That's a shitload of money, and which is good because it costs about like $365 million to make.
Also crazy.
Yep. another little factoid there that's really kind of interesting about Endgame is that out of all the actors, and there was a ton in Endgame, everybody came back for that one.
Oh yeah,
Robert Downey
all the
Jr.
heroes.
was the only person that got to read the entire script before filming. So that was really kind of interesting.
That is. And I can see why that would be, knowing what his character goes through without giving anything away.
Yep.
He deserved to know
Yep.
in advance.
And I guess there was a little something there, and I didn't fully dive into the article, but they would not let Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, actually have the script until they were ready to film, because he's
bad at secrets, right?
He's super bad at secrets, and he kind of blew it for the previous movies. So they were like, "You're not getting the
do
script,
not get it."
right?" So out of all of the movies that Jen and I like, one of our favorite genres, I would say, is probably heist movies.
I love a good heist movie.
I think out of all, it's hard for me to sit and watch a comedy anymore. I have a hard time doing that. I'm more interested in
I like
things that
humor.
are high octane.
Yeah.
I like humor too.
Humor mixed in with the high octane.
With the high
right?
octane
Yeah.
action. And so that's kind of what we are always leaning towards. And we always have a kind of a soft spot for the heist movies. So recently I did a Google search on, top heist movies.
Oh yeah, that was a
And there
good
was
list.
actually produced quite a few movies that we hadn't seen, which I was actually really excited about. So we started just kind of going down the list, and one of the movies that we did watch was called Den of Thieves. It's been out for a couple years. It got a decent rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so we thought we'd give it a try. But it was actually pretty good.
I'm surprised I hadn't watched it, because I love what's his name?
Yeah, exactly. I love what's his name. That shows how much you love him.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Gerard Butler. And he's good, and he's great at playing these kind of characters that are super rough around the edges, with moral flaws, and so he plays another character in this. But what was really kind of interesting about this movie that caused me to pause a little bit, as at the beginning of the movie, during the opening scene, they had this text floating across the screen, and it was said 2,400 times a year, 44 times a week, 9 times a day, every 48 minutes, a bank is robbed in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the bank robbery capital of the world. And I found that just like crazy. Mind blowing.
I fear for my cousin Kyle, who lives there.
Right. I would say I would put my money elsewhere.
Kyle, online banking only.
Right. I don't know, man. I would just yeah. So anyway, Los Angeles, apparently a lot of banks are robbed and I know this was a movie, and I expect the facts to be stretched a little bit, but I would assume that most of that is pretty true.
I bet, yeah.
But that's a lot of bank robberies.
Totally.
And we watched that. I would say Den of Thieves is a good recommendation. It probably deserved the Rotten Tomatoes rating that it got. I would definitely give it a thumbs up. It wasn't
a little
one
short on story development, a lot of shoot, bang, bang.
Yeah, and if you like that, if you like a lot of just like balls to the wall shooting and violence and that sort of thing, this movie's for you. But it was a little thin on story and backstory, which I always kind of like a little bit. I like a little bit of backstory and understanding why the character,
and the setup of the heist and all that.
and all that stuff. So,
but you did this week indulge me in one of my favorite heist movies that you had not seen.
And I had not seen this one, and that was Ocean's 8. Now, huge fan of Ocean's 11, 12, and 13, which was helmed by George Clooney and the crew of all those folks. Love that series of movies. They weakened as the series went on.
Agreed.
Obviously, Ocean's 11 thought that was the best. And anytime you do a sequel or a trilogy, they're just not going to measure up. So Ocean's 8 was a flip on that. It was all female cast. And
Sandra Bullock is the star.
Yep, Sandra Bullock. Riri is in
sister.
that. Kate Blanchett. Aquafina's in that.
Aquafina's in that one too.
Yeah, Aquafina's in that. There's just there's
Mindy Kaling.
Yep. One of the gals from
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway's in that. I think I even saw Marlo Thomas in there at one point. And who's the gal that plays Beatrix Lestrange in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Who is that person? She was married to
Johnny Depp.
No, she was not married to Johnny Depp. She was married to Tim Burton, who directed Johnny Depp.
Sorry, I can't remember her name right now.
I'm having a really hard time. Helena Bonham Carter. She's in that one. I actually really like her as an actress or an actor.
Well, and the best friend, Kate. Oh, did you already
Blanchett. I mentioned that. Pay attention.
It's a good movie, hon. I liked it. You thought it was slow.
I thought it was a little slow.
I like it.
It did not have the same energy as Ocean's 11 had.
The first half maybe is a little slow, but the second half is
the last 20 minutes were fantastic.
Come on. Last half.
Okay. Well, there's that. So Ocean's 8. It was all right. It was all right as a heist movie. So
ladies, you'll love it.
I would say
Girl power.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Rob the world.
there's some empowerment there, right?
Jewels, sparkles.
Jewels and sparkles. I would definitely say it hits that entertainment quotient.
It did.
It also hits that quotient of favorite ways to waste time. So it was
entertaining, right?
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yep. And then finally, to wrap things up with the what to watch this week, Jen for some reason got a wild hair and wanted to watch The Matrix. What was the culmination of that?
I do not remember. No.
And that's all right. It'd been forever since I'd watched.
It was fun to watch.
The Matrix. So
did not have any temptation to watch the second or third movie.
No,
that's really the first
not
one
really.
is the good one.
Yep. And to be real honest with you, I think it only held up kind of half.
Yeah.
It actually in the short period of time, I guess seemingly it's short, but it hasn't exactly held up the best that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if they redid it now with the technology that they have nowadays. And this is a movie that's what? I don't know. Gosh, it's probably close to 20 years old.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, why don't you look it
Googling
up
now, honey?
She is Googling. I'll play the doo, 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 doo. I'll actually talk about some Disturbin the Burbs fun facts about The Matrix. Both Will Smith and Nicolas Cage turned down the role of Neo, so that was interesting. But you know who else got offered the role? Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, and Leonardo DiCaprio were also considered for the role prior to hiring Keanu Reeves. And I don't think any of those folks would have had the same effect.
No, it had to be Keanu.
Yeah, it had to be Keanu. So,
are you ready for how old this movie is?
yeah, let's hear it. Lay it on me.
1999.
99, so 21 years old.
Shit.
Yeah. And I remember when that came out too, but yeah, that's a
we
long
had met, but we
time.
weren't married.
Yep.
'Cause we're fucking old.
And then, of course, the role that Lawrence Fishburne made famous of Morpheus was actually offered to Russell Crowe and Sean Connery and Samuel L. Jackson.
That's crazy.
And it wouldn't have been
Can't
the
be
same.
anyone but him.
All right. It's funny that how things end up and into movie lore that both Keanu and Lawrence Fishburne were perfect for those roles. So anyway, those are the things that we watched this week. We watched other shit too, but really didn't make the cut. We wanted to just kind of hit the things that we thought were worth you guys taking a look at.
It's a good list.
Yeah. So anyway, one more honorable mention of this week was a video that was posted up on YouTube, and I saw several of my friends sharing it on Facebook earlier.
I don't think we've done a YouTube video of the week.
No, we haven't, and so I'm kind of actually thinking about diving into that because eventually you and I are going to be YouTubers as well.
Ooh.
Yep, we're starting to pull together the gear and tech to become an actual vodcast.
Ooh.
So not only will we be doing this as a podcast, but we'll also be recording a video version of Disturbin the Burbs. So you heard it here first, folks.
I'm ready. I do Facebook Lives in my
That's
VIP
right.
group.
We're already global. We have global listeners, and we might as well have global viewers as well to extend our reach.
Big time.
Yes, we're extending our reach. So anyway, a lot of people, a lot of people might actually know Mark Rober as a YouTuber. He is from the Glitter Bomb fame, where he created this
that was
this
so
glitter
awesome.
bomb where
For male thieves.
Yes, for people that sneak up onto your porch and steal packages. He created this iPhone glitter bomb where it actually recorded people as they were
stealing the
package and digging into it, and
a fart smell, right?
Yes,
right?
It was so bad.
So great.
Oh man! So if you have not seen that, look up Mark Rober. It's Rober. He's got a bunch of videos out there on YouTube, but that glitter bomb
probably his biggest hit.
Is probably the biggest hit. And he actually just yesterday released another video of building the perfect squirrel-proof bird feeder, and it's about a 20-minute journey. So strap in, folks.
It's just charming.
It's cute. It's very charming. But he ends up building this kind of ninja warrior obstacle course in his backyard to force the squirrels to go through in order to get their walnuts.
So basically the birds can enjoy their bird seed unmolested.
Right, by the squirrels and their attempts to get at the bird seed. And it's a really fun journey, and it's definitely worth your time. It was not 20 minutes wasted at all. So definitely go out and on
Thanks,
YouTube.
Thanks, Missy. Thanks, Kristen. Yep. I know that's at least 2 friends that posted
it. And of course we'll post this up on the Disturbin the Burbs website, so you don't even have to go out to YouTube if you don't want to. You can just look at episode 18's.
You should post the glitter bomb one too.
Yeah, I'll post that one as well. But as usual, everything that we talk about on here, if there's a video available, we try to put that up there on the Disturbin the Burbs website. So it's
I make him do all that work. Don't you love it?
Yeah, it's not just the Disturbin the Burbs episode, but it's also other entertainment as well. And speaking of entertainment, man, there was some great new music that was released this week. Very recently,
really good music segment this week.
There's a lot. We are very musical people. We have music in our lives on many different facets, and most of all, we just love we're not settled, and that's the one thing that I always wondered, because I grew up and my dad always listened to the same music. Our parents always listened to the same music. What they grew up with in the 60s, they always listened to that same goddamn music. But
I don't feel like we're old people music-wise.
No, I'm always on the search for new stuff and current and seeing what's out there, because I think it's kind of a sickness that I have, that I'm always trying to find cool new stuff. And I have friends that are the same way. But from a mainstream music standpoint, Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande released a new song called Rain on Me. And I don't appreciate just one genre. I'll listen to heavy metal, I'll listen to dance music, I'll listen to funk, I'll listen to country. You want to throw it at me, I'll give it a listen, as long as it is something that shows talent, right?
Yeah.
It's not just fluff.
You probably have broader taste than I do.
But I want to be entertained, but I also want to know that whoever created that song actually put some effort into it, and it's not a cookie cutter pop song, right?
Right.
That's just my one criteria. So this new song from Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, Rain on Me, fantastic.
So good.
Made me want to shake in my seat as I was listening to it.
It's a built-in dance party, man. You cannot help it. It makes you want to move.
We listened to it several times, so it's a very good listen. We'll also post that video up on the Disturbin the Burbs website. Man. So not only can you listen to the episode, right afterwards you can watch, or before you can watch Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande on the Rain on Me video. Interesting fun fact, that video that was made for Rain on Me was directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, Spy Kids?
Yeah, that's immediately what I think of with him.
I know there was...
our kid is 15.
Right.
So
but that's not his claim to fame. He directed, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
And some other just highly violent movies. But it was kind of interesting that he
does music videos.
Yeah. And then, of course, we found out this week by watching the finale of the disappointing American Idol.
American Idol, sorry, yeah.
Final. Katy Perry had also released a new song on May 15th called Daisies.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, and that's a great song as well. So give that one a listen. Another fun fact about that song by Katy Perry is after they released that on May 15th, the following day, in a promotional campaign for Daisies, coinciding with Mother's Day, a digital flower shop called Katie's Daisies, which offers 12 free multicolored bouquet options to tell someone you care, you love them, you miss them, or simply thank them for believing in you. That was opened up. So it's katiesdaisies.com. And we are not being paid by them. They are not sponsors of Disturbin the Burbs.
Obviously, I did not get any Katie's Daisies for Mother's Day, so we were not in that loop in time.
I know. But I thought that
was nice, peony bouquet this week.
Yes, you did. So, and then carrying on with different music that we've listened to, we watched the show called Songland, and I don't know, we've mentioned it several times on other episodes.
The songwriters competition.
Yes, and so last week's episode was Florida Georgia Line. They were on the show, country musicians.
Yep.
And they're kind of a genre-busting country artists.
Country rock, kind of.
Country rock. They include a little bit of rap in their music, and they've been a little controversial for that. They did a song with Bebe Rexha, right? Bebe Rexha.
Yeah.
BB Rexa. Anyway, so they chose a song that we'll also post up on the website called Second Guessing, and it's an instant hit.
I think so.
I was amazed. Some of the songs on here are kind of like, all right, But as soon as I heard this one, I knew it was going to be a hit, and they recorded it. It was perfect for them, so I thought that was fantastic. Anyway, we'll post that one up there. Another dance song that I heard recently.
Yeah, where did you find this one?
So I love Spotify, right?
Yeah.
I get these music of the day or music of the week that I should listen to.
Okay.
And I have a bunch of different genres on there, and this showed up in one of my songs I should listen to this week, and it was a song called Nightcrawler by Duke Dumont and Say Lulu.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's a great, just kind of makes you want to bounce in your chair, get up and dance kind of song. So we'll, again, post that one to our website, www.disturbintheburbs.com.
Good find.
Under episode 18, so we'll post that one up there. And then another song. This one's an oldie but a goodie by Steelers Wheel. It's probably their only one huge hit was Stuck in the Middle, and everybody knows that song.
Stuck in the Middle.
Right. It's on Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino
totally
movie.
Going to karaoke that.
Totally, right? But there was a YouTuber, Josh Turner. Featuring his friends Rihanna Del Cid. Raina, is that how you pronounce it? And Tony Lingen and Carson McKee. Anyway, there's some youngsters that redid this and did a cover of it.
They were good.
It was so good.
I love their version.
Yeah, love their version. Put that up on the Disturbin the Burbs website. And then another song that has always been a favorite of mine, I absolutely love Neil Young. And one of the songs that he does that just hits me in the feels every time is Harvest Moon. Mm-hmm. And there's a recent cover of it by a band called Poolside, and that's on our kind of repeat playlist that Jen and I have that we hear all the time. But I came across this one by Josh Turner and all those folks that I mentioned earlier.
The same kids from Stuck in the Middle.
Kids, yep. And it was fantastic, so I'll post that one up there. And finally, as you're going through the rabbit hole that is YouTube, again, I came across a song that I've listened to many times before. I absolutely love, from the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" And that's the song by the Soggy Bottom Boys and George Clooney. Well, he doesn't actually do the singing in it,
but he's in the movie.
But he's in the movie, and they sing this song, "I Am a Man of Constant Sorrow."
That came up on your playlist this week?
It did not come up on my playlist, but as I was going through YouTube, it was one of these recommendations that...
It's a good song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Definitely listen.
Yep, so I'll post that one up there. Yep.
Work your way through the links. It'll be fun.
Yep. And we'll take you on a little bit of a musical journey.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of the things that we suggest to watch this week and listen to. I think that's enough. We probably don't need to get into food and other aspects of pop culture. But those are the things that we wasted our time on this week. Hey, you feel like listening to a couple more calls?
Oh, definitely.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do that.
All right.
Hi, my name is Jesse Cleoffe. I'm a strength and conditioning coach with Owl High Performance. I live in Kirkland, Washington, and the main way the quarantine has affected my life is that I can't coach people in person at my gym in Redmond. And however, I did learn how to do online training and adapt to the current situation. Also, I've become a whiskey connoisseur, and my daughter had to come home from college a couple months early, so I can't hang out in my underwear anymore until she goes back. The thing I miss the most is taking my wife out to dinner at a nice restaurant and meeting up with friends. Mostly, I've used this time to learn how to enjoy some quality downtime at home. So take care, everyone. Be patient, be positive, stay safe. Bye.
Hi, Jim and Jen. It's Christy Van Waveren in Spokane giving you an update. Our family's been very fortunate. Dan's job produces essential products. And so other than the teenager being home every day with online learning, our day-to-day life hasn't changed too much. I still take weekly trips to Fred Meyer and Costco, but I am finding that we're staying home more, cooking more, eating more, and doing projects around the house. What do I miss? Well, since we moved, I miss a lot, including your family and my old neighbors. But in our new life, I'm missing lunches with my college buddy, and I'm missing visiting my parents. One of the reasons for moving out here was spending more time with them. And spontaneous things like, I don't know, it's weird because I'm not generally a fan of spontaneity, but things just like exploring the city. Anyway, I hope all is well with you.
Jimmy, Jen, fellow suburbanites, Kenny McGee here from Salem, Oregon. Hey, wanted to weigh in on this whole coronavirus quarantine situation we've got going on. And, you know, it's affected me in many ways, I suppose. I already work from home, so the social distancing was something I'm already, I guess, accustomed to. But those around me certainly has changed them. I'm currently spending 4 hours a day helping my 10-year-old nephew with his distance learning. And boy, is this a challenge. Let me tell you, that could be a whole another subject altogether. And, you know, I don't go to the store as often as I used to. I'm kind of afraid, maybe not so afraid, but, you know, wearing a mask everywhere is just kind of weird. Now, that being said, I think, you know, some of the things I miss the most is just being able to get up and go wherever I want. You know, maybe going to a restaurant, hitting a bar. I don't know.
Hey, thank you so much, Jesse and Christy and Kenny for calling in. Great hearing from you guys. Jeffy.
Nice.
Jesse, that actually can show you how much we've actually consumed tonight. It's always fun to record a podcast and drink at the same time. It makes this time a little bit more fun for us and hopefully more entertaining for you. So anyway, Jesse, thanks for calling in. I can I don't know if empathize is the right word. Identify with becoming a whiskey connoisseur because Total Wine and More has become our good friend. I shouldn't just say mine.
Oh, you're definitely more into the whole
it's horrible.
Whiskey thing.
It's crazy going to a liquor warehouse like that because it's bigger than any liquor store that we ever had in Washington State. Before they kind of opened things up. And so I can definitely understand wanting to try different things out. And when there's 150 different whiskeys sitting in front of you for you to try, it's kind of hard to pick and choose, let alone not go home with 5 different bottles that you want to try. So yeah, good on you. I hope you're finding some really good whiskeys
you guys
that
should
you
compare
like.
some notes.
Yeah, I definitely I'm actually more of a bourbon fan, which is, made from corn mash rather than whiskey. But I definitely would compare notes on the things that I like. But right again, he brought up restaurants and friends and the ability to go out and take your wife on a date. I mean, that's just something that you and I have talked before about on previous episodes, is just those kind of impromptu moments of saying, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat here. Or let's go get happy hour there.
Oh, yeah, we definitely miss it.
We do that we've done that all the time, and just having those little niceties being removed from our everyday activities is it's unfortunate.
Totally.
And
Well, I feel like I have to mention Jesse's wife, Valerie. I'm friends with her from junior high.
Yeah, you guys go way, way back.
And she was like one of my last social.
You were sorority sisters together. Yeah,
but she was one of my last social outings. We went and had dinner together.
Yep.
Just slightly before all this happened.
Right.
So I'm glad I got to see her, and she recently lost her darling dad, and just wanted to send her a hug.
Yep. Definitely. So big hugs out to Valerie and Jesse. And I loved Jesse's last little bit there of his message that he just said, hey, everybody, kind of, be patient, be positive, and be safe. And I think that's a message for all of us
And that's so Jesse.
Yep. And, let's just be patient with each other. Let's slow down. Let's try to be positive. Let's not politicize everything. And most of all, let's just kind of be safe.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks, Jesse, for that in. It was great hearing from Christy. Christy is one of our former neighbors here in our neighborhood.
And Carter are good friends.
Yep, they've been friends.
To have them move away.
Yep, they moved to Spokane, which is about 4 hours away from where we're at right now. But it's good to, good to hear that
Glad they're stable.
They're stable and everything, and they're eting more.
So, that was so funny.
Yeah, that's something that we again can identify with is the eating. That everything is at our disposal. Mm-hmm. So they've made ordering from DoorDash and Uber Eats very, very easy. So we can
miss
identify
you too,
that.
Christy.
Yeah, miss you guys. And then finally, Kenny calling in. Kenny is a college friend of mine. Lives down in Salem.
I got to meet him one time. He's
regular
cool.
listener. Yep. Kenny's a good guy. And he already does work from home.
Nice.
But, he's been chipping in and helping out his family by teaching his nephew and experiencing those kind of unusual circumstances. So, good on you. But we're right with you, man. Just the ability just to get up and go and kind of do some of the impromptu things that we're normally used to doing. Definitely still miss out on that. And it's frustrating to a degree. I mean, I'm not losing sleep over it or anything, but it is definitely frustrating to have this big change in our lives that it's not my choice, right? It's a choice that's being made for me. And I think that's where a lot of the people are getting frustrated, and where the protests happen is that people are just really, really frustrated. And I think that's completely human to feel that way. I don't begrudge anybody for breaking the rules, quote unquote, and wanting to have things get back to normal soon, because that's our way of life. And this has been going on for a long time without a ton of answers. I think as a society, we love information, and we love correct information, and we love hearing it, but so much of it seems guarded because so much of it is unknown.
Right.
That nobody wants to spread false information.
And yet we find a lot out there.
Yeah, there still is a lot out there. But again,
a lot of unknowns.
As our good friend Jesse Cleofe said, be patient.
Be positive.
Be positive and safe, folks.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good message for all of us. So let's wrap things up, Jen.
Okay.
We have been doing horoscopes for the last several episodes. We've been fine-tuning them, getting better and better.
Last week was the first good week.
It was the last, and this is where I started writing them myself. And so based on real horoscopes, but I kind of paraphrase them in my own speak, in my own language, and whatnot. So we're going to start off with Gemini.
Yeah.
And that's the current month.
Here, right?
Yes. May and June that Gemini extends over. So, Jen, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right, here we go.
With Gemini. Let's go.
Gemini. Let's be honest, Gemini, your current income isn't cutting it. You need a side hustle to pay the bills. The great thing is you're super artistic. So turn something you create into cold, hard cash.
Yeah. All right, Cancer. You've got an easy week ahead of you. Don't fuck it up by your natural tendency to worry about shit. Just chill and you will sleep well, my friend.
Leo, something you've done in the past that was a little sketchy may get inside your head this week, Leo. So it's best to remember that shit is in the past. And like Elsa says, let it go.
Right. Let it go. Let it go. You know, my favorite part of writing these horoscopes is inserting the curse words in here and forcing you to curse as you're reading it.
I could say shit. Jesus.
All right, here we go. Your head is full of ideas this week, Virgo. And for once, not all of them are crap. Do yourself a favor and get these great ideas out of your head and put them to good use.
Yeah. Libra. Oh, Libra, will you ever learn not to be a condescending biatch? There's no denying you're smart, but you don't always have to be the prettiest girl in the room. Keep your damn ego in check and people will listen to you. Oh, and also you're an insufferable gossip. Knock that shit off.
All right, who's the Libras out there? We're talking to you.
Hun. Thank you very much.
Are you a Libra? Oh, nice. Well, I didn't even think about that when I was paraphrasing.
A condescending biatch.
You're not. You're really not. All right, moving on to Scorpio. Wow, Scorpio. There is no end to what you can accomplish this week. So, in the immortal words of Smash Mouth, hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
See, that's an uplifting one.
Mm-hmm.
Sagittarius. Hey, Sagittarius, you know that little voice in your head? No, not that one. The other one. Listen to it. Someone you know is trying to play you for a fool, and you know it. Nip that shit in the bud and call this person out on his or her game.
Nice. All right, Sagittarius. Put your big boy pants on. All right, Capricorn. Most of the time, you're stubborn and like to do things your own way. But this week, you should try to stop being such a jackass and try harder to be a team player. You'll find success every time, and people will stop thinking of you as such an asshat. Win-win.
Good. Aquarius, this week is all about perspective. Don't forget to look at the bigger picture instead of getting wrapped up in all the small details.
That's good advice. All right. Oh my God, Pisces. You are so damn competitive. It's always win, whatever the cost. It's what people love and hate about you all at the same time. The good news is that tenacity will pay off very soon.
Okay. You may want to lay off the THC this week, Aries, so you can be focused and get shit done. There's a lot on your plate at the moment, and the last thing you need is hours sitting on the couch. Carpe diem.
All right, and finally, let's be honest, Taurus. You aren't exactly the most organized person. This is going to be a super busy week for you, so get your shit together and make a to-do list. You'll get everything done if you learn how to prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
I think you made me swear a lot more than you did, honey.
I did that on purpose. Just for once, I wanted to see you be the one that curses more on this podcast than I do.
Down.
Right. Anyway, that kind of wraps things up.
That was good.
I hope you guys were entertained. I know I certainly enjoyed putting this episode together with Jen.
Me too, hon.
We had a lot of fun, listened to some great music, watched some good movies, wasted a lot of time, learned some things.
Did some dancing.
All right. Well, I think that's about it.
Be good, guys.
Be good, be safe, be positive.
Yeah.
All right. Love you, Jen.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.